Hey guys, it's Brian. So welcome back to the video, and today we're going to go through, if your offer is struggling to sell, here's what you can do about it. I can show you the solution and how to actually solve this. It's pretty simple, but it just takes a bit of work, and yeah, but I can promise you it's worth it. It's the most important thing in your whole business. So I'm going to go through the 3 rules for creating your offer. So basically 3 rules that you need to remember. So I keep harping on about this, but number 1 is the transformation. Transformation and results. This is your offer. This is what you need to do. You're not offering more 50 hours of videos unless you need this to get the actual result. You're not offering like 1,000-page PDF or whatever it is. You need to get the transformation for people. Number 2 is value. Value. So this is what we're pricing on. We're pricing on value. We're not pricing on your cost per hour. We're not pricing on the materials you use to actually solve the issue for clients. This is very important because, like, look, if you solve a $10,000 problem a month, like $10,000 a month problem for a client, like that's something's costing them $10,000 every month, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to take me 30 minutes to solve. And my hourly rate is like $100 an hour, so I'm going to charge like $50 an hour to solve this massive problem for this person. That's not really fair. It's price and value. So if you're solving a $10,000 per month problem, you can easily charge them $10,000 for that. Like it solves it in 1 month. So that's an easy solution. The best way to do this value is to usually, if you can figure out like what the result is, how much it's saving them or how much it's making them. Usually it's a good objective to say 10 to 20% of that figure. If you're in another niche, say for example the fitness niche, then it might be that it depends also on who you actually solve this problem for. If you're solving for like an entrepreneur, a high-powered entrepreneur, or an executive of a company, and they're solving their like weight issues, well, that's going to give them a lot more energy. It's going to give them a lot more focus, a lot more confidence, and they're going to make a lot of money with that. So it's probably good that you can charge a couple of thousand or whatever it is. You'd have to adjust it, but yeah, if you need help figuring out the pricing, definitely there'll be a link below. You can reach out to me there if you're looking for that help. So number 3 is minimum. And what do I mean by minimum? Basically saying you want to offer the minimum support that you need to, like, basically if they're trying to solve this, get this transformation, you're going to give the minimum you need to do to give this transformation. If that minimum is like an hour a day for every day for a month, well then you just have to do that, but you want to make it as little as possible. So it basically comes back to what I was saying earlier. You don't want to be offering 30 calls, 1 call every day for a month to get this transformation along with all this other stuff. It's solving this as simply as possible, as least complex as possible. That's like super important too. So over here we're going to go through, so this is for like, even if you have your niche picked, this is about how to pick your niche. Even if you have a niche picked, this kind of stuff is important, and then we'll dive into the offers in just a couple of moments. So this is how to pick your niche. So the best way to pick your niche is by doing what you enjoy doing or doing what you love doing. So this is the way to find this out is by going through your, like, say, your YouTube search history, seeing what kind of videos you've been watching a lot. That can kind of show you what you enjoy. Going through maybe your bank statements, like apart from obviously your rent and cost of living, what are you actually spending money on that you enjoy? Say for like example, like golf or cycling or like business related books or travel or whatever it is. You find out those things, and then we'll go on to the next one. But these 3 things are basically, 3 is the most important by a long mile, and then these 2 are kind of like similar. So what are you good at? So if you enjoy something but you're not really good at it, or it doesn't help people solve problems, it's not so good. But it's better if you love something, you enjoy it, and you're good at it, that you're starting to get onto a winner. Then the most important, say 90% of the importance, is this one. So market need. So if the market doesn't have a problem or they don't actually need this solution, then these other things don't matter. So this is what's important. But to get to this point, sometimes you kind of have to figure out, what do I enjoy doing? Because if you're sticking with something for a long time, it's better that you enjoy doing it. But I can promise you, if you make money from it, you will start to enjoy it anyway. So don't overthink about this. Ideally, you have something, and as long as the market needs it. But the most important thing is if the market needs it. Because if you start making money and good money from it, it doesn't necessarily matter as much if you love it, because you'll have the money to then go and take time to do what you love. So market need, again, is the most important. So now we're going to get a little bit of space here. So how do we perfect our offer? Or how do we even get an offer in the first place? They're kind of go hand in hand. So offer, the first thing we're going to want to do is get out of our own head. So we have our niche picked. So get out of our head. Get out of our head. All right, we get out of our head and we get into the market basically. So we're going to go DM people, video calls. What was that? What the hell was that? Video call. So we're going to go video call, just basically speaking to the market as much as we possibly can. And once we get these type of things, and we're going to, if you want to speak to the market, you're going to want to be speaking to probably, well, I don't know, I'm being generous here, but minimum of 5 people. This has been pretty generous, but what I'd recommend is 10, 20, or say you should have enough with 30. But if you can get to 30, great. But usually a sweet spot is around here, 10 to 20, especially if you start spotting like a team. So next thing, what you're going to want to ask is the main things. There's many questions you can ask, but basically, what are the problems? What are they struggling with? What's the bottlenecks in their business or in their fitness or in whatever other niche you have? There's so many different niches out there. Yeah, so what's the problem they have? And then pain. How painful is this problem? And then yourself, you can rate that on a scale of 1 to 10. Obviously 8 and above is best. If you can solve a problem that's a painful problem that's 8 or above, especially 9 or 10, then you're onto something. And especially if you're noticing the same thing. If it's only one person, it's not so good. But if you're spotting the same thing coming up with 70 or 80% of these people, then yeah, you're starting to get market fit. So I'm going to put that one down, team. So what teams are coming up? Okay, and once you solve all that, you basically have basically an MVO, a minimum viable offer. I'm actually gonna wipe away some of this stuff. Let's get some space here. I probably should. Anyway, I'm gonna wipe away that because you've probably already seen that. You can rewind the video now. So your minimum viable offer. So that is basically, you have the bare bones of an offer. It's not an offer that you can just completely rely on. So basically with this minimum viable offer, you're going to go to the marketplace and then you're going to sell this offer. You're going to try and sell this offer and seeing if the marketplace want it. And then maybe the marketplace will start gobbling this up. You'll actually, your minimum viable offer is amazing and people want it straight away. That's unlikely to be that case. You're going to have to probably make some adjustments to your offer. Even if and this is the reason, as I said, going back to why your offer is probably struggling to sell, is because you might have an idea of an offer, but it's not exactly hitting the market really well. So you're going to try and sell this, and then if people are hesitant to buy it, you just ask them why. You get feedback. What would it take for you to buy this, or what would you need to adjust for you to buy this? So say for example, if you're offering for them to help them get more clients, if you're offering SEO services, they mightn't really want that. Depending on the niche, they mightn't want that type of service, especially now maybe with AI and stuff. That mightn't be as important. But what might be a better option that you find out from trying to offer this is meta ads. You could be offering them meta ads or Google ads or some other type of better way of getting them clients. So that's what you're going to adjust, and this is what you're going to iterate on when you're in the marketplace trying to figure out what they actually want. And then from constant iteration, so that's a kind of a cycle. So you have your feedback, iterate, and then you're gonna basically feedback, iterate, and then you're gonna get your results, and then you're gonna test again. You're gonna basically, this cycle is basically a business cycle that you're gonna constantly do all the time, because even if you have a perfect offer that works like flawlessly for a long time, the environment changes, people's opinions change, the world changes, technology changes with AI now. Like this thing is a constant cycle that is, yeah, these are all the fundamentals. Honestly, it's so important. Even for me, I'm kind of almost reminding myself of how important this stuff is. So basically, that's what you're going to do. Going to keep iterate on it, get that perfect offer, and once you have that, you have product market fit, and that is when you're going to start making a lot of money. I can promise you that. If you have product market fit and you do a good job at selling and all this, you're going to make a lot of money. So yeah, stick to that. And so I'm going to go through now the biggest mistakes people make in this process. Getting a bit messy here. So the biggest mistakes people make in this process is they think in their head. Think too much. Don't go to the market. We've already discussed that. I don't need to harp on that anymore. So the next most important thing is to do not listen to the feedback. They don't listen to the feedback of what the market is saying. They might be so stubborn, like, no, this offer is good that I've already have in my head, or this offer that I have off other people is what I'm going to go with. Even if like so many more people are saying, no, actually we prefer this. You listen to that feedback and you basically sell this, because this is where the money is. And then the next thing is kind of similar to feedback, but it's bias. It's bias. That's kind of like sometimes where you might get stubborn with stuff. You might have a bias, like in your head, you might be thinking this is what the market wants, or maybe one person out of like 10 people have told me this thing. So I kind of like, I'm not like I'm not going into these calls or these Zoom calls or video calls with an open mind. I'm just going in knowing that this is the problem. Even if you kind of think something is the issue in your head or the problem that the market wants, it's better to actually go in with a completely clear head. Don't be trying to ask questions in a way that brings them back to this bias that you want. You have to like have a completely open thing. And then if you spot them saying this a similar problem than you had before, well then you can kind of like ask a bit more questions around that. But you need to be going into these calls with a completely open mind. And as same as when you're getting feedback on the market. So those are the most important things for an offer. I can promise you, and by the way, if you need help coming up with an offer, picking your niche or coming up with an offer, definitely just go down to the description below, and we can try and help you out. You can hop on a call or whatever. But so basically, if you solve this, get your niche solved, and do not be niche hopping. I used to do that niche hopping all the time. Figure out what you want to do, figure out the niche you enjoy and one that you can make money with. And the grass is not greener on the other side. You just need to stick to something. I've been the person that has niche hopped the whole time and just don't stick with something. Also, not just niche hopping, but business hopping as well. But the thing, as I discussed in another video, which I can link below, is the most money comes from over the long time. So the longer you stick with a niche and the better offer you have, the more money you're going to make. If you have this, you're gonna like solve this, like you're just gonna iterate on it, like you're gonna know your niche so much better. Stick with your niche, perfect this offer, adjust constantly. Two of the most important things in your online education business. So subscribe below.